What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Inside 11, and right now, man, we want to delve into the topic of how traumatic events, how negative energy signatures, especially the ones experienced at an early childhood, at an early age, can literally embed themselves into your organs, into your energy centers, in your chakras, into your wheels of energy, which you use to manifest into your brain, into your cellular networks, causing you to be unable to move forward in life just due to have developing some form of fear, some type of doubt, some type of self-hate, whatever it is that you experienced at an early age. Negative energy is supposed to be just processed, and it's supposed to just take it out, But in this case here, some form of energy has passed through our conscious mind into our subconscious mind, and it has embedded itself there, and we are not, for some reason or the other, able to sweat that energy out. So it's literally have become a part of our identity, where we may have even went further. The trauma might have been so severe to the point that we have actually developed a dissociative personality disorder, where we have to create a another personality to actually protect our real personality. So it's literally an alter ego that has been developed due to traumatic events and things like that. And these traumatic events that happen to us at an early age, by the energy signature of fear, guilt, doubt, all these low vibrational energy signatures that we inherit perhaps from our parents and things like that, or just our surroundings. You might deal with a member in your family, or you might deal with certain friends, certain associates that use these energies to keep you from just staying in line, following the line that's designated for you, and things like that. But we get lost so deeply in these things that we cannot see how our life can play out any other way, because literally there's this energy signature in our aura. We've allowed a fiery dart to penetrate our energy field, and it's actually poisoning us, and it's actually venomous to our experience in life. So literally in our experience in your body, you may be even summoning up or producing feelings of anger, guilt, fear, just these irrational impulses that rise up from your psyche that hasn't been healed yet and is still wounded. So when you have a wounded psyche, when you have a wounded energy center, what you're going to experience is an energy blockage. You may not be able to even use your throat chakra. Sometimes you might not even be able to speak up for your needs and wants, and you may even let yourself get taken advantage of, just based on having early experiences, people telling you to shut the fuck up, or just forcing you not to express your opinion via them having a very, very forceful opinion. And this might even cause you to even further shut down your heart chakra, where you refuse to feel anything, because the first early experiences were so painful to your heart that you've decided that subconsciously your body has literally decided that it's better for you not to feel anymore. So it has shut down that door where your biological organ is functioning. But slowly and surely these things will manifest as biological problems, because the psyche is actually fucked up. And whenever the spirit is not able to dwell freely through your temple of God, because all our fluids are just manifestations of our spirit. And whenever these fluids are unable to flow freely, you're going to manifest some type of blockage, some type of health problem. You're not going to be able to fully really have the experience of being alive. You're gonna become a robot, because you have this associative personality, this disorder, that because you lack harmony. Basically, you don't have your temple is not harmonious anymore, just due to how negative this experience was. And it could just be like a small negative event, but at the end of the day, you have to keep in mind also that these negative experiences are not negative at all. It's just our perception of those experiences that make them negative. Because on the contrary, whatever things that are bad for you, that are happened to you, that you perceive as bad, really are just bad because of the filtering system which we may have chosen to look at that event. Where a lot of the times we may choose a filtering system of victimhood, of blaming the people around us, where we want to take this energy out on someone else. But you have to understand that your forefathers, your mother and father, whoever around you, they had this demon inside of them. They didn't know how to deal with it. They didn't know how to process this negative energy, this curse or cursed energy. And their only way was for them to throw it at you. And so they've literally passed on to you a spiritual sexual transmitted disease where they didn't know how to deal with this problem and they throw it on you. And so, once again, it's really important to remind people that the experiences that happen to us are not necessarily negative. They're only negative if we choose to see them through the filtering system of negativity. In fact, literally, your mind doesn't even care about how you view the event. The important is that you decide to view the event from a different position where you might only be looking at the dark side of the event. I want you from now on going forward to start looking at the light side of the event. So for me, for example, my dad used to beat me a lot when I was a kid with a belt and things like that. But I look at that now as, damn, that helped me develop a lot of pain tolerance and stuff like that. One time I had a katana. I watched a lot of anime, so it's about buy me a katana and shit. And I cut my hand. I cut my hand really bad and it started bleeding so much. My hand became cold and stuff. But I didn't cry. I wasn't necessarily in pain. Like, I could handle it because I've already been through experiences where I had to endure physical severe pain and stuff like that. So the event itself is not negative, it's what you do with the event. Now that you went through negative experiences, you're actually building tougher skin where you can actually withstand bad negative influences. So it's literally a really good thing because what's happening here is now you're able to endure experiences. You have endurance. A lot of people in this life don't really have endurance. Look at this generation, for example, this young generation of men that's coming up. They don't necessarily have, they're in a safe environment. They can win an award just by doing and accomplishing nothing because, they don't want you to go through bad experiences. They only want you to go through positive experience. They want you to think that life is positive, but life also has its negatives. So when you experience those negatives, you're not going to be able to process it and handle it, and you might literally just shut down. This is like literally like rich kids. Rich kids, they might be so coddled, kept so safe in the space where they're living. When they step outside and they trip, they might literally blame their mother and father. They might start hating them. You guys didn't warn me about the world. F you, man. It gets deep. It gets deep because your experiences are literally preparing you for the future. Because before you have even before you have even experienced your 3D dense events, you have chosen a mentality, a mind state with a collection of thoughts and feelings which dropped you down as a part of a certain race group because you saw the people you was coming down in this dimension with. You saw their mentalities. In fact, birds of the same flock together. Now you came down to the world with those groups of people, and your spirit already knew what events it was getting ready to experience. But because we fell from heaven, we became fallen angels. We wanted to get down into these desires and stuff like that. So you know, a lot of it become like a Game of Thrones. Who can get their desire first? That become relationship nowadays. Or who can get their desire and stuff like that first. So they make all these movies because these movies are about us, and they're encouraging us to continue in this slave trade, in this battle of the egos and battle of each other and stuff like that, where we don't need to engage in that. What we all need to do is just begin to sweat these events out by choosing to let go of these events, especially those negative events that happen to us, because we don't want to repeat these events to other people. Now, if somebody has a negative intention towards you, I'm not telling you to kumbaya, boombaya, pretend like, peace, love on earth. No, I'm not. I'm saying you might have to hit them with a brick, a 2x4 brick type shit. You might get a pistol out and pistol whip the fuck out of their head. That type of shit. So it's a kumbaya, but you want to allow yourself the space to experience your spirit without you necessarily constantly regurgitating, recalling, reliving, being chemically addicted to things that you perceive that are bad for you and are reliving that experience, because literally what you don't realize is you're literally getting ready to create that same event by your spirit, orbiting in that same mentality. Because by you being in that fluid, by you being in that form of consciousness, in that awareness, right? You're getting ready to condense a situation like that. So literally at one time for me, for example, I don't remember exactly what it was. Man, this was back in the day when I was like 17 or whatever. I was pissed off, man. I was like, oh man, the devil is attacking this world. I gotta do something. But I was pissed because I could see what's going on to the people around me, and I wanted to do something, but I was still in the disposition of anger, right? So the first person that said something that I didn't like, man, I lashed out at them. I said, man, F you and your mama. I'ma end you. I'ma fuck you up. All types of shit. Where it wasn't necessary, but that shows that's a sign of being imbalanced. So because I went to such an extreme, because my past was so extreme, and I was living in that mind that was so extreme, to the point that I wanted to fuck somebody up and make them feel what the beep I went through. But see, that's demonic, too demonic, because you're trying to make other people feel what you feel. But you don't have, see, as I'm telling you, it's an option. You're choosing. I was choosing to vibrate at that low vibrational state. I was choosing to be in that negative state of mind that led to me deteriorating my life, to the point that you create experiences that deteriorate your life. You might even catch a divorce. You might get fired from your job. All types of shit because you're so negative you can't even hold it together. So we need to learn to process these negative emotions by beginning to look at them through a lens of positivity, no matter how hard it is. Because the enemy understands the game. Whoever you want to call the devil, the opposer, the draconians, the people that run this matrix, the people that run this Masonic program, they understand that so long as that they can expose you through exposure therapy, via generational curses, via agents around you, via the programming they have implemented into their minds, you know, as long as they can put them in a negative energy, they understand that they will pass that negative energy to you. And that should never stop. They will always bombard you with negative energy through the news networks, with whatever they got to do. That's why they make everything look negative. They make everything look bad. Relationship wars, man. Oh, the food is bad for you. Oh, man. Everything. They trying to put you in that state of fear no matter what. But we have to start the ball rolling for people to be in that state of unconditional love, right? Because when you unconditionally love yourself, that's the only time you can unconditionally love someone else. This is how all this shit even started, where people stopped unconditionally loving themselves and they started chasing something outside of the outer world, the density world, which is hell, really, without realizing that all these things came within, and we created all these golds, all these metals, all magnesium, whatever, platinum, all these things that we value so much that we try to hoard as the virtue of greed or whatever. Lust, hoard as many women as you want to. Man, there's more than enough women in the world. There's more than enough men in the world. There's more than enough of everything in the world. But so long as that we continue to look at these things from a lens of, you know, greed, being needy because of our traumatic events. Oh, someone took my wealth from me. I gotta take someone else's wealth. Oh, someone else took my love from me. So my love of myself. Someone else made me cold-hearted. Man, I gotta take someone else's love of themselves because they should be just like me. Because literally, people try to impregnate other people with their disposition. And if that shit's negative, you're only leading the world towards a negative roller coaster, to the point that all this shit's gonna blow up in our face, and then we're gonna realize, damn, like, we just damned ourselves. And ain't no way better to say than that. So no matter what your negative experiences is, always view that, because your brain doesn't care. Your brain, your chakras don't care. We're inside of all possibilities. All that's possible. So the most horrendous shit that happened to you, you can look at it through a different lens of, oh man, I'm grateful that happened to me. And that substance will begin to transmute and become a new substance, something benevolent, something that used to be ugly before, and now you can give birth to something new. Just like how the trees die at the end of at the fall and the winter, and they bear no fruits, they bear no leaves and shit like that. They become anew and they become renewed at spring and summer. It becomes something beautiful. So just like that, that's the process that God wants you to do. Even if life gets ugly, let go. The beauty is coming. Birth is coming. And when a child gives birth, sorry, I said a child. When a woman gives birth to a child, that shit's painful. But she's bringing into life a member of the community. He's bringing into life, you know, newness, something that the father and the mother and the children amongst them can come together and love and adore. Just like that, it's painful, but that's what you're supposed to do, regardless of the pain. You know, transmute that pain into beauty, into art, into music, into fashion, into information that you can share with people so other people can get to where you are and things like that. And with that being said, that's all for today. Take care of yourselves and make sure you transmute your experiences, your emotions, no matter how negative you perceive them, because that's how you get from point A to point B. So you get from zero to hero. And I love y'all from the goddamn bottom of my heart. Real shit.